All right, mate, how you doing? Welcome back to another video. We have just watched the first England game of the World Cup, England-Iran. It was a big 6-2 win. Arguably should have been more, could have been more, shouldn't maybe have conceded 2 goals, could have been 1 goal. There was a penalty at the end. I don't think that was a penalty because I think, well, maybe it was a penalty, but if it was a penalty, Maguire should have had a penalty in the first half. But we're going to quickly assess that game, what we learned from it, what we're thinking about the next one. I've got PK Humble from #United in here. I've got Will Brazier in here as well. We've been watching the game on Twitch. That's where we're going to be doing our watch-alongs for the World Cup, so make sure you get over to the Twitch channel for the next one. Not just England games, lots of games. The link is in the description to join us for them. But now, let's assess it first and foremost. My assessment is very, very happy with that. Gareth Southgate has hit the nail on the head. Cannot argue or criticise team selection whatsoever. We were so impressive. We had all of the ball. We made Iran look like a much worse team than they statistically are. They're top 20 in the world. Ecuador, Qatar, who we saw yesterday, neither of them in the top 40. Qatar actually outside the top 50. So that's not a terrible opponent in Iran. But we made him look very poor. I think our job got made a little bit easier when their goalkeeper, who is a massive weapon for them with the longest throw in world football, got injured and obviously a concussion. There was a couple of concussion issues. We think Harry Maguire had a concussion issue, which may count against him for future games. But let's talk about Harry Maguire. Massive game for him. Massive shout putting him in there. If you watched my video when I made my starting 11, I didn't have him in there because I wanted to play a back 4 and I think he's better in a back 5. But you have to say, not only did Southgate get it right, Harry Maguire was immense. He had a really good header which came off the bar and he got a really nice assist for the first Saka goal. I wish he'd been able to play 90 minutes, but hopefully we get behind the big slabhead for the rest of the tournament if he plays after his concussion. And yeah, that criticism can just go away and we get behind the boys. Right, let's talk to these lads right next to me. But overall, I'd say very good game. PK, you're a man of many words. You've got a very distinguished vocabulary. I'm going to ask you to use one word to describe each England player today, starting with the goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford.
Peculiar.
Peculiar?
Yeah.
Okay. Trippier?
Adjacent. Adjacent.
I mean, yeah, I can't argue with that. John Stones?
Beautiful.
Very beautiful. Beautiful man. And one of the first names on people's teams, I'd suggest.
Yeah, definitely. Always on mine.
He's a big one. Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire, he was...
Saucy.
Nah. Sauceless.
He was what?
Sauceless.
Sauceless?
Yeah.
Did you want him to have... Do you want your centre-halves to have sauce?
I don't.
I actually thought he had a bit of sauce in the box. That header...
That header wasn't sauce. That was slabhead.
I consider that saucy, personally. What about Luke Shaw?
Luke Shaw, tremendous.
You gave him your man of the match.
Yeah, he was. That's my guy. Like, everyone gets onto him for being a pudding, but I feel like he was amazing. I love a good Yorkshire pudding.
Sometimes puddings are good.
Yeah.
It was a great cross for the Bellingham goal. Speaking of Bellingham, I'm looking at the BBC website right now. I think he's actually got the highest rate. No, Saka just beat him with an 8.05, 8.04 for Jude Bellingham. How would you describe his performance?
Exhilarating.
It was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, what a word, by the way.
I actually think Jude Bellingham is our best player. Declan Rice?
Steady.
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 It's what we like from Declan. It's what he's good at. Bukayo Saka, my man of the match, 2 goals for him.
Flabbergasting.
Flabbergasting.
Yeah.
Very flabbergasting. Mason Mount.
Mute. Yeah, he's mute.
He was mute.
Yeah.
Mason Mute.
Mason Mute. That's his new name.
Why for you was he muted?
He just didn't do anything. Like, I know Eddie's probably gonna cry seeing this, but like, he was non-existent.
Yeah, he didn't do a lot, but he didn't do a lot wrong. Couldn't really do a lot wrong in that game, could you?
No, you can't go wrong. He gave us a bit of a Madeleine McCann special. Can't put that in, innit?
You probably can, but I don't know. We'll have to have a chat about that one. Okay, moving on. Raheem Sterling.
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, like the MMA?
Yeah, like he gave that little goal there was more like, watch out. Like,
It was a bit of
Muay Thai
Anderson
kick.
Silva special.
Nah, more like not Kung Fu Panda. What's the
Good
other
film.
What's the other one? Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
Yeah, it was a nice finish and it was a great cross from Harry Kane, which brings me on to the captain, Harry Kane. 2 assists, no goals. Didn't really see him shoot, but he was a provider.
Yeah, his performance was very like assy.
What's that?
Ass like it
Like
was A because he done A for assists.
A for assists. I
So
see.
his name his game was assy.
Okay, we'll take that. I don't know what it means, but we'll take it. Substitutes. For me, apart from maybe Dyer, all of the substitutes came on and impacted the game really positively. I think Southgate got them bang on. Pretty good timing of them as well. There was that weird thing when Maguire went off and he didn't let Dyer on straight away. But Grealish got himself a goal. Only his 2nd goal in an England shirt. What was the word for him?
The word for him was rehab.
Why?
I feel like he's back now. He's come back. He's rehabilitated.
Okay. Right, Grealish is rehab. Marcus Rashford.
Jinky me jinky.
He was very good.
I've got to give him the jinky me jinky. He come in, razor sharp, just like chopping everyone up.
Eric Dyer.
Eric Dyer, he didn't really. He was on mute as well. The volume was low.
Okay, low volume. Phil Foden.
Phil Foden, he come on lively.
Yeah.
Lively, I'll just say lively. Come on, moving a bit electric.
But you wouldn't change the starting 11 for the next game based on that performance?
Mason Mount might come out, but that might dent his confidence though and do him in. But obviously, I feel like he was on mute.
Yeah.
So
Callum Wilson,
I would say he came in like a prophet because he had a good heart. He could have tried to score. If that was me, I'm scoring World Cup.
William, any words from you? Because I know you're probably the biggest Jude Bellingham fan that's out there as a Birmingham lad.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Well,
How good was he?
Jude Bellingham's all I've had for the last 5-6 years. Like, Birmingham not really treated me too much, so I've been a Jude Bellingham fan. So see him score at a World Cup. He's 19.
It's crazy.
It's a statement-like performance. He's out there. We've said before on these streams, he's a PM in the making.
Yeah.
Doing it on the pitch, off the field, future Ballon d'Or winner. He's going to lift the World Cup as an England captain, I'm sure. I love this man. He scored at a World Cup. I didn't cry. I thought I was going to cry. I might cry now, but yeah, my man of the match.
You think he's going to lift the World Cup as England captain as well as us winning it this year when he's not captain?
I think he'll lift the World Cup this year. I think he'll lift the World Cup as captain, and I think he'll lift the World Cup in a ceremony as a PM later on in his
As
life.
a Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Interesting fact about the World Cup. I know this because I went on the official World Cup trophy tour with the actual World Cup trophy, not this one, which is a replica. The official. I'm not going to touch it actually, just in case.
Yeah,
but the official rules of the real World Cup is you can only touch it if you've won it or if you're a head of state. So you're a Prime Minister or a king or a queen.
Ooh.
They're the only people that can touch it. And they do hold those rules very strict.
Yeah.
Even apart from, I think, the handlers, you get some special handlers who wear gloves, and they're all like ex-SAS, like army guys.
Right.
They take it super, super serious. So yeah, I used to make a joke back in the day, and I said the only chance Harry Kane's got of touching it is if he gets elected Prime Minister, because he ain't going to win it. But I changed my mind, because this game was very good. I said in my predictions a few days ago, I said England were going to get knocked out by France in the quarterfinals. Scratch that, not because of this performance, mostly because Benzema is out for France as well as the other two they're missing. I now think we've got enough to overcome France, and I think we can beat the semi-finalists, which I think with my prediction would have been Portugal, and then I think we get to the final now. I'm not going to get too excited and say we're going to win the whole thing just yet, even though I believe we can. I do think we're finalists, though, in the making. That performance was good. It was better than the scoreline suggests, I would say. At points, I thought we were going to get 7 or 8. I think we maybe could have, and we could have even had a clean sheet as well. You have to say to Iran, though, very efficient with the few chances they had.
Yeah, I mean, and that was the data, but it feels like there was no real defensive mistakes. But like even the penalties dubious, like we've said before. If they're going to give that, they have to give it every time. And then even for the first goal that they scored, Harry Maguire went off injured straight away after, and he was sort of a little bit ball watching if you had to be semi-critical. But he went off injured anyway. So you
can understand why you'd be ball watching though in a game like that. With almost nothing to do.
But I'd just like to say as well, if there is still anyone out there hating on Gareth Southgate, I think he shouldn't be the man that leads us to the tournament. Every chance he's been given, he's been proven right so far.
That is one of the best, if not the best, opening game performance we've ever had. Obviously, we had the big Panama scoreline in Russia, but that wasn't the first game. So to do that in the first game really just takes a bit of stress off. It's so important in World Cups to win your first game, to really set you up. And we've done that. We've done it in style. We've done it with panache. We've scored some really nice goals. Everything's coming up Millhouse. Everything feels good. Let's not get too excited. We've got a massive game on Friday against USA, but the reality is we win that and we're going to go through. And we take a bit of pressure off for the Wales game. Most probably, you almost always go through with 6 points.
I'm excited. Yeah, we were relaxed in the second half, weren't we, PK?
we had a couple cigars.
We were just chilling. We were just enjoying it. We were talking about life, and England had got the 3 points, Ben.
Yeah, if you were watching the stream on Twitch, it did get very relaxed. We went off on all kinds of tangents. It was very adjacent, you might say.
Very adjacent, very girthy.
Because you can do when you're enjoying a game like that and it's that relaxing, you can. So I do recommend you come and join us on some of these live streams. We've got all kinds of guests joining us. Final word in Iran. Have they got any chance of getting out this group?
No.
And how much of that is because they've lost the keeper? We assume they've lost their keeper for the tournament now if it is a concussion. He's such a big weapon for them, isn't he?
If you've lost a 61.5 metre throw, I mean, that is...
It's a huge weapon for Iran, isn't it, that throw?
It's a throw on him. We were worried maybe it'd get in behind Harry Maguire. We didn't see it. And if that's all they've got, and judging on the performance, I don't see him getting anywhere near getting out of the group.
They will have more chance against USA and Wales, though, won't they?
Bless you. No chance.
There's no chance. You don't think they've got enough, even then?
They were poor, man.
So if they're that poor, that means that Wales and USA have got that extra boost of getting out this group.
They've got 3 points guaranteed.
You reckon?
It's tight.
It's a shootout today.
They've got 3 points guaranteed.
I actually don't know if it's as simple as that. I think we'll be surprised when Iran play the other teams. And they won't necessarily be as reliant on the long goal throw because they'll be able to play a bit more against those sides. Honestly, I don't think they're definitely out. I think they're probably out, but I don't think they're 0 points out.
I want to know who they played to qualify. Because they couldn't have played any good teams.
I think what was worse than Iran's performance was the refereeing performance because some of the VAR decisions are like, there's 8 people in that room. Oh, God knows what they're doing.
We just want some consistency, don't we? We just want, if you give that penalty, fine, but you've got to give the Maguire one. And who would have taken it? That would have been Harry Kane because he was still on the pitch at that point, wouldn't it? And that would have set us up nicely. It was 3 minutes into the game, that penalty shout, and I think that might have worked against us. Because one of them where, even though it shouldn't come into it whatsoever, if you give that and we score that, and England are 1-0 up against Iran in a game we're massive favourites, 3 minutes in, it changes everything. Yeah. And I feel like maybe that we've got a little bit of bias against us in that sense because they want to make the World Cup entertaining. But who knows? We've won the game. We should really be going through the group now. Like, it would be criminal if we didn't.
All we need to know is Southgate, he's the one. He still turns us on, and football is coming home again.
He's coming home. He's coming home. Mwah. Gareth, we love you. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Drop a like if you've enjoyed it. Let us know in the chat what other videos you would like to see throughout this World Cup, and come and join us on a live stream soon. Thank you to PK. Thank you to Will. We'll see you next time. Until then, don't go changing.